area is that there has to be 144,000 minimum, right? I want to mention names.
Oh, Martin King is a great reference. That guy's done a lot
Are you
of.
live already?
Yeah. Sorry, darling. I'm live. It's Friday. It's Easter Friday, eh? Good Friday. God Friday? I don't know. No. Don't let me interrupt you.
Well,
Carry on
no,
saying.
no. I wanted to mention something about the farming. We're obviously in farmland, near farmland, and someone had said, "Oh, they're stopping. They're getting farmers to stop farming." We haven't really seen that in this area, have we? No. The farmers are busy.
And they still had seeds for sale in the supermarket today.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't putting restrictions on any items.
Yeah. So the farmers are busy here, so we're not so sure unless it's a particular farming industry that's
We
going
do
to be
live
affected.
in a 5G free county.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
It's a 5G free county, which is a incredible thing, really. Why are there these areas that are 5G free? Safe zones for those in the know? I don't know. Anyway, you were saying about the Trinity. No, you were talking about the mind, body, and soul.
Well, we were comparing it to the sun, moon, and earth, weren't we?
Yeah, but you see, I don't know that like the sun is and the moon are lights within the body, if you like. They're almost like, like a body has a heartbeat and it has a lung and it has a spleen and all these things that do various things, and perhaps the light is more part of that, because the spirit or the the soul or the spirit element must be like at the God level, which is above, creator level is above the sun. The sun is the creator's light, creation's light. That's why I think, like the Egyptians and the current Christian kind of thing is to worship the sun. Actually, they hide their sun worship in that. And I think that might be the mistake, is that you don't go to the concert and worship the lighting. So you shouldn't worship the rock star either, but because you are the rock star, you should hold equal reverence, or yourself in highest reverence. Anyway, well, that was my thoughts on that. Was that the sun is merely an action of the Earth system, or the whole of the body. It has lights, it has eyes. So the eyes are the window to the soul. Maybe the connection is our eyes to the sun. But it's not all. It's not the highest what is, because you just to take the biblical way of looking at it, God is like sits on a footstool, so they say, sitting above, watching the arena, terra firma, and the surrounds. Anyway, I killed the conversation by turning on the phone. Hi, friends. I'm with Ian and Andrea and our dogs in the camper van.
It's sitting in we were just mentioning how bright the sun is. Like, there's a whole lot of chem cloud, and I don't know if it kind of does something to the sunshine, but it's like
There's a trail being formed as we speak. Someone in a comments section somewhere said, "Where are all the chems gone?" So it's not universal. It's not across the plane that people are having this kind of chemical onslaught. It seems.
Well, we were just debating that whether it's not what it seems. I was thinking about that, about the whole narrative at the moment. I think there's some twists and turns to come, because it just seems to be a whole information, like truth coming out, and which is amazing, and perhaps that's all meant. I suppose you just got to keep on using your discernment as to trust yourself as to what information is kind of worth pursuing, or maybe just everything remains on the table and just letting it unfold rather than trying to figure out the outcome.
Well, one thing we know for sure is that the terms seem to have been extended. The 3 weeks in the UK has now been extended by another 2 weeks.
Oh, is that what it is? Officially 2 weeks?
Well, when you say officially, yeah, I mean I think the BBC reported that that's what's been announced. I can't say that I've seen the actual
What you're
minister
trying to
say
say
it.
that the BBC isn't like
Well, the
an
media being
official-
used to
an
float
official
policy
mouthpiece?
out to people? No, that's not possible.
No.
The BBC wouldn't be used as some sort of weapon against truth. They're arbiters of truth and unimpeachable.
I just want to spare a little thought for people who, I'm talking in particular about my family. They're
Try and talk to the mic a bit because it's not very.
I can't really see because of the sunshine.
You don't have to
Okay,
look.
but then I have to. Anyway. I think they know the duo by now. But anyway.
See, I'm sitting down here in the sun with my shirt off. It's very cool.
Yeah, my mother. I spoke to my mother on the phone, and she's full of fear, and watching like Channel 4 programs where they're bleaching out cupboards. They're showing you how to bleach out cupboards to stop the germs from spreading. And
Bleaching
then the
cupboards.
next breath she's saying to me, but it's not airborne, so why is that the case? And I'm like, well, that's a good question, Mum.
Yeah, we know.
But she's afraid because someone in her block has been, and they've had an official letter to say it, and now they're worried about contamination, and it's just, it's crazy for some people.
Hi, Tracy.
Crazy.
Hi, Tracy. Yeah.
Well, I got a
See
phone call
Voynich
from
there.
my best friend yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Back home, Wolverhampton, and he's ready to come and join the rebellion, the resistance.
Those who refuse to consent.
Yeah, I mean it's it's all about just
Sorry about the noise.
Avoiding all interaction with the system.
Yeah, avoiding all interaction with the system.
Have you ever been uptown on a Saturday night and you've not been drinking? All you're doing is like passing through, going to the train station, and you get these crackheads come and like talk to you and stuff. If you don't look at them, if you don't do anything, they just leave you alone eventually.
Yeah.
But if you give them any, if you even just make eye contact with them, they've got you. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of seeing that on my social media in terms of a sort of lower level awakening. It seems that David Icke has definitely been a tool. I'll use that word generally. But he's been a tool to people coming to the truth. I think Ian said yesterday, it's great for intro, so hopefully they'll move on from that and find more, or it'll push them to research more.
But there needs to be a David Icke, that I think people like David Icke have been put there by, really high up. They can't be murdered or taken out. They need to deliver whatever message they've been. And I think there's a level of, because obviously David doesn't talk about certain things, and that could be serious, like hypnosis and mind control he could be under.
Yeah.
Where you literally, when you speak to certain people about flat Earth, it's just like...
Yeah. But there's a lot of folks who in the, like you think about the Disclosure Project, and for example, where, those folks have just got a single brief, and they stick to that brief and that one only, they won't talk on wider topics. And then of course those that do talk on some of the craziest topics always leave some of the fundamentals out. And of course, if you're in the business of making a living from conspiracies, and you know that, say, flat Earth is going to kill it, or maybe you're told that that's not a subject you're able to touch, then
That's interesting, because there's quite a few doctors, right? That especially mostly American, but there's quite a few doctors that are talking about irregularities publicly. They're publicly, whether that be that they've just put themselves, on a video and it's doing the rounds on social media. But and as far as I knew, there was implications for certainly the if you were in the medical field for talking out. I've seen a few on them talking about the death certificates being or the cause of death being altered. I've seen plenty talking about that it's not a virus. So are they meant to be kind of putting that truth out there? Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. That would be my hope, that they're...
Well, there's a lot of doctors talking out of turn, as it were, it seems, about viruses in general, vaccines. So yeah, I think it's interesting, because it's creating a whole new wave of awakening, or realization. And Martin Lika, I'd written to Martin Lika the other day to ask that he was okay, just to check out that he was all right, and he wrote back and said one of the big challenges is how slowly people are waking up. But in a way, it's like, I think of it like a 10-story building, and that people are at different stages of that, different floors of the building. And so some people may only be, let's say at level 1, and so for them to move to level 3, for example, would be a big step in this turn, in this moment, whatever we're getting now. And those that are in level 4 or 5 move up to level 6 or 7 or something like that. That's a more natural kind of step. So you can't expect people at level 1 to go to level 9. And be grateful that you are at those levels. But I do think that people are going to be able to jump over a few hoops. They're going to be able to up level much more quickly than it, perhaps in the past. And it does feel like there's certainly people that are starting to skirt around deeper.
Well, it's interesting for me, because I'm watching people from all different areas who were already awake, or were taking their health back. So they were no longer accepting the mainstream treatment of their their bodies. A lot of them in the sort of autoimmune area. Anyway, so there's that, and then there's obviously I've listened to people who are sort of having their own spiritual awakening, and of course they're now waking up to the 3D, or the screen, or the system that's going on. So it's an interesting thing to see, and
well, like Ian's mate, he's what Ian didn't say was he's a tattoo shop owner, and has been, and well, one, there's the government are offering shops like a whole lot of financial inducements to, and he's like, wow, this is my opportunity. One, I've realized, I think the phrase you said the other day was apt. It was that, for a lot of people, these truths they kind of knew were bubbling underneath, or the lies were covering up the truth, and they were like, yeah, well, what can we do about it, and how does it affect me? How does it affect my life? And now a lot of those people are feeling that effect, and helps if you've got a little bit of a government grant to help you on your way out the door. But a lot of people will be going, yeah, sod it. This is what we're thinking. A lot of people will be going, sod it. It's time to do things differently. A lot of people will be going, I can't wait to 5G's installed, and we can, get out driverless cars and super watching TV when I'm on the train and all that. but for a lot more people, I think it'll be so. And it's like, okay,
No,
so it's 60% or 70% or 80% that stay in the city, or stay in the matrix, as it were. Whatever the percentage is, that's what it's meant to be, and we shouldn't vex ourselves on those that are making that choice for themselves, because maybe that's a level 1, level 2, level 3 choice. Maybe that's what it is. It's maybe only when you get to level 4, 5, 6 of the building, he's going, I need to be moving my way out of here. So
is there going to be an option for people who want to leave? This mass exodus, even if it's just 10% of the population, they're going to need somewhere to go.
people are going to need somewhere to go.
My answer to that is that there's divine timing and divine uh, hand in
Purpose,
this too,
yeah.
and that is going to be played out. So I remain hopeful that be the case, and that that opportunity will arise at the right time. Maybe that's an ego kind of protection thing for myself, but I just have a sense that there are going to be options.
You have faith.
I have faith, yes.
There's going to be options,
Yeah.
and yeah, a way. People will create a way.
Well, God helps those who help themselves, I think.
Yeah, and also I think that we cosmically, which is Mother Earth, which is part of creation, will is way more powerful than maybe we even can comprehend, and that there is stuff in store that is going to mean that other hands are played. So yeah, I think that's where I get my calmness from, is being able to just, I have to course correct, but that there's a bigger play here, and if I just have faith in that, then it's gonna unfold. I mean, maybe not exactly how I imagine, but
Do you guys feel like a lot of services, if you read between the lines of the rhetoric, or not even between the lines, if you simply read the lines of the rhetoric, that we are going to be able to return to normal as soon as people have had the opportunity, gratefully, to be tested and or vaccinated for that purpose of public safety. So some areas I've heard even trains and things like that, and I know we've been mentioning this for a while, so it's not a surprise, but that's gonna it's gonna offer a real sort of impetus for people to kind of find some way outside of that.
I think people are going to have to decide what their normal is. So there'll be those that decide they want the normal to be as close to what they've left, what they've left, yeah, what we had 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there'll be those that'll be like, no, I want something different, and so therefore I'm going to create something different for myself, for my family, for my community, whatever the case may be. But normal is different to everyone, and
we're going to know by the end of June, what December's going to be like.
I think there's a lot. You've got to try and remain as open-minded about it as possible.
And I guess preparing for, I don't know, it's preparing the self, it's quite interesting, it is rather unusual. Thankfully we've been able to play some good frisbee, and of course Alexander keeps me busy, and just being a member of this tiny little community that we've got going here at the moment. But we don't want to be broken spirited at all, we want to be upbeat and optimistic about what's coming down the line. I think that's important. so that we continue to draw in people. So not get lost in all the sorry about all the cars going by, but not get lost in all the fluff, that's been coming at us, and that includes, this regime of testing. It might be years before they can really implement anything, that's super draconian. Having said that, I was watching we went to the supermarket earlier, and I was watching the security dude at the door now. Of course, there's a number of security operatives, high vis, all very obvious and very kind of in your face. Well, not in your face, but, just now we've got everything's super security. And I can see that some lady was showing her papers, but I think it was just a receipt she was showing to the dude. And it made me think, it's not long before we're having to show papers to be allowed access to the supermarket.
Well, it'll be obvious, I think, won't it? Like something that everyone can see.
Well, it may be that, but I mean, if you just take what they've done in, say, Oz or other places where you've got to have a travel permit, yeah, they've got that as well, haven't they? An essential worker permit. So it may come in like that, because I can't see that they've got ready to roll out some kind of tattooing or underskin chip for everybody to use. But that's right now. In 6 months' time, everything could look very different. But I do see that possibility coming down the line. But that being,
the technology is there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We've seen the underskin stuff. Yeah. My screen is very hard to read in this light. Is that Jason here? Jason here, Zoom Truth. I see you. Hello, brother. Yeah, that van hasn't moved for 3 weeks. Now, it's been 3 weeks since we arrived here. And gosh, are we grateful. It was Ian that made the call. I mean, that all happened in days, in the space of days. Getting the van from Jason, a day or two with Lisa and Jack, and that nice campsite, you might remember. And then, Ian coming up with us. Well, actually Sharon saying, hey, I've heard them talk, why don't you invite them up? They should come here. So here we are, and there the van sits, and it's currently our comfortable bedroom stroke part-time lounge. I still fantasize about using it in some significant way, where we can put write anything we want on it, and take it somewhere and make a splash for the good of man, for the good of all, Whatever it is we're doing it for that. It's a realization that those people on the 0 floor, the agent, what do they call them, agent smiths? There's people on 0 floor and those on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd floor who will easily comply with everything that they're being told to do. That's just the nature of it. I would love to, I'd give those people a message in a heartbeat, but at the same time, I'm not going to be too vexed about how many steps they can make up, because right now we are in the time of, I don't want to be dramatic, but it's kind of like a flood, or it's the pre-flood to the flood, and those people that have done the preparations are nearer the top floors, and those are the ones that I need to be, or we would, gain more benefit from.
Well, that's not the way I see. I kind of think that I'm not talking about the very dark end of the spectrum. I don't really have enough knowledge to say how that's all going to come about. But
well, Squirrel's in the chat room. I was thinking about you.
I'd like to think that the whole point is that we're upgrading the consciousness, because we're moving into a different time. Does that mean the dark is an upgrade too? No, yeah, for me it makes sense they do, but that we'll be bringing the whole up with us. That's the point.
Yeah, people shouldn't get too bummed out about people not waking up fast enough, because time and space are bottlenecking, and everyone's going to be forced to make a choice.
I love that.
You know, everyone's going to see.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to make that decision, and it's going to be super easy to make the decision. But
well, I mean, we feel like there is a deception always looming, you know, and Bluebeam, some of the conversations we have centered on Bluebeam, G5, V-scenes, you know, why are they trying to stop you from vibrating in the right way, you know? Why is this game trying so hard to stop you from vibrating in the right way? So, you know, don't worry too much about anything. If you haven't, like we were talking about metal, mercury fillings, which we've got a few of, I think. You know, like if you worry about that, you're probably going to be vibrating lower than the effect of that on your body. Do a chelation, of course, but yeah. But is Alexander awake?
Yeah.
Oh, well, how did you?
He wanted to watch the Pluto, and it's nice and cool in there, so it's probably
good place.
Yeah, I mean, for now, for me personally, I'm just kind of allowing myself to feel what I need to feel, and some of that's some uncomfortable feeling sometimes. But I still maintain that for me, it's part of my purging of my
Beer o'clock.
Of my density.
Cheers, mate.
I'm a little late, actually.
Yeah, you are.
Part of my density that I'm, dealing with. So as part of the preparation of the arc. So I think that the best thing I can do is just confront that and try and love myself through it.
Confront the Duok, love yourself through it. Do a bit of meditation or something, I suppose.
Quiet time whatever's your thing, some people that's doing painting that they're able to do. Some people it's cooking, some people it's just being still, some people it's being outside in nature. It's just whatever's your thing. I know in being outside in nature they're trying to limit.
I'm desperate for my own land to get off grid. Don't you scratch her? Please. My dog has been a hoax to a year, mate. I like that. Just need.
There are some people prophesizing that we don't even need to worry about getting that piece of land or whatever. Just kind of work on the mind, body, and soul, and in coming times,
the land will come.
Those things will be provided for those who need it. So I think if it's a stress or it takes you away from just being able to be the best you can be, then don't focus so much on getting the piece of land or whatever. I mean, obviously that's what we'd all like to end up that way, but I just think that that's part of what comes. Somehow those things will be made available.
Isn't this the apocalypse? I mean, I think that what's that last book of the Bible? The Revelations. New Testament, Revelations, and the old Enoch. They all talk about this in pretty graphic terms. So, hey, maybe it is. And if it is, you're probably in the best place you could possibly be.
I think
as
time gets closer to the December event, potentially. Your good deeds and your bad deeds will be, rewarded or punished much more quickly. So it's going to be like instant karma.
Yeah. Yeah, like as I said at the beginning of the year, and
if you act out of fear, any action that's made out of fear will be instantly, just like.
I think I hear Zizi moaning.
I was just about to say something, but I'll come back and say that.
Hmm. So yeah, the fear vibration is one that might not stand you in good stead. The love vibration is.
But the last thing you want to be doing at the moment is getting arrested. For
Development.
Well, if people start taking down these 5G towers, that's not gonna.
Don't you think though that there is a drive to create the tinderbox or the reason for shit to go crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's why they've left it till now to tell everyone about 5G.
Yeah.
It's been on the radar for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And they've waited till now, and suddenly everyone's talking about 5G.
Well, not only that, people are going to get tired of having their liberty removed. So, and all those sort of anti-government types that have been, weaponized will be geared up.
You leave her alone because that's why she's making that noise. It's you that she makes the noise for.
She does. My dog and I have a particular.
She's not normally like that.
She's not normally like this.
Yeah, what I was going to say just before I went to Zizi was that I think, for me, the astrology that's around kind of is forcing you to live in your own personal truth, so authenticity, and it's going to force some of those things where you are kind of fooling yourself or lying to yourself.
Well, you're fooling yourself or lying to yourself.
Oh yeah.
They're going to come out.
There's another little skywriter for you, friends. Well, yeah, because their idea of freedom has been.
They think they are free.
Yeah, completely misappropriated. So, hope you're well, Dave. I do miss our more regular chats from last year or before, but we've all got our journey to walk, etc., etc. So it's good to know that you're up and about, my brother. Love to your family. That's from, I'm sorry that I can't really read your. Get you later now. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little chit chat. I'm meaning to go like live in town sometime soon, maybe tomorrow. Sorry. So I just want to say thanks for the support, friends. I hope you're well. If you're going through difficulties at home, reach out if you need to at Gmail. trinityforman@gmail.com. Someone did the other day. I appreciate that. And there's a lot of fear porn, a lot of stuff that's kind of like, oh my God, how long is this going to last for, and so on. We really don't know, and I tend to take a longer view on that. But somehow, as Ian said, it's just like so get out in the sunshine. If you're not listening to me out in the sunshine, then try and get out in the sunshine if you've got it, when you've got it. This is meant to be an important Ishtar. Sunday is meant to be an important day. Who knows? Just know that you are divine. You are the spark of the creative. Here. So what have we done? We've had our experience stolen from us by the system, and perhaps this is our time to take an appropriate amount of that back. But if your idea of taking it back is that you want to go back and run the city, then perhaps that's sort of where it's always going to go wrong, because the city is designed for human exploitation, and the whole way of the city life is about human exploitation. A big sort of high density cattle farm. So if that's what you're still wanting in your story, then that's great. But I'm not encouraged by the idea, or I'm not of the mind that our cities can remain you know, in the setup that they are, and not be a desecration of nature. You know, I mean, people bitch about zoos, animals being kept in zoos, and yet the conditions for most humans in cities today, I'll say that again, the conditions for most people in cities today are sub that. People say, no, I can go to the coffee shop, I can watch my own Netflix or whatever. But I suggest that's just a way of keeping the cattle happy, so that they continue to produce chickens, eggs, beef, whatever. And that is a usurpation of your divine intent, I would say. But go there, see it, taste it, lick it, and hopefully be compelled to leave it. And I fall into that group, so don't lick it. Why not? You might get COVID. Hey? COVID lick. Yeah. Anyway. So, you know, that's it. And I mean, be inspired. Even if you've got many steps or a number of steps still to kind of build your arc, still to get, like I do. My ideal, like Jason was saying, is to have land and be able to work that land and make it productive, such that, you know, I can support myself and those around me, you know, or at least contribute towards the support of those around me. That's our birthright, and I want it back. I don't consent to having it taken. We may not be able to unpick all the maritime law and all that sort of stuff, but hey, even that might be up for grabs, and that changes everything, doesn't it? If the ownership of land all changes, and the rights of people to in entitlement of land upon birth, upon it landing on land, birthing on land, rather than keeping you at sea, then you're entitled to some land. So maybe that we get to that, but I'm not fixated on a particular outcome, so much as I am on the voyage right now. And the voyage is, you know, to just keep the mind well, to keep the mind healthy, because this is definitely an assault on the mind, on the body and the mind. Because what we started this conversation was talking about the Trinity, the soul, body, and mind, and it's really, to get the soul, you have to get the body by getting the mind, or get the mind, or get the body, or get the mind by getting the body, doing the body. So ultimately, to get the soul, enrich your soul as much as you can, brothers and sisters. And I'll look forward to speaking to you all soon. Should I just say goodbye to anyone who was just sort of, Martin Farr. It's good to see you around. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to say thanks for all your support, friends. And when Karen B hangs out with you, can't take it. Did Karen B come by? Awesome, by the way. Well, yeah, and she and Brian Stavely are knocking it out of the park. Listened to a bit of Russian vids today, and I have to say I felt really good when he gave me a good old shout out there towards the end of the show. Really generous shout out, which is amazing to come from a guy who you learn so much from in your very early days. So. Because you sometimes wonder, like, what's the point? Am I meant to be doing this? Is there, a purpose to all this? Are we going anyway? But I know we are. But to receive an accolade from Brian and from RV today, it just gives that a little bit of infusion of gas, of hot air. More chems, mate. Yeah.
Showing how low it is.
Yeah. yeah, we're
300 metres.
just as a, before I say goodbye, we're speculating, and I have done for some time, haven't I? If you listen to me talking, some chemtrail altitude, we think, by small drones. They just look the size. They're obviously 747s or whatever. Yeah, just food for thought. You know, we're not in any fear. It is what it is. Are they dusting the sky for some kind of whatever? Fuck, whatever. It doesn't matter. Right now, we know, if we don't already know, that they've got like the whole world on lockdown. All governments are working. All governments working to pretty much the same drumbeat. You know, the system is showing itself, and it is having to go through various things that it's going to do. And as we can see with this lockdown, there's fuck all we can do about it. There's fuck all we can do about it, friends. So, you know, let's not sweat it. I'm not saying don't do your research and stuff like that, but don't sweat it. Let it be. Because if you're at peace in yourself, in a neutral place, then you ain't going to be all like twisted out of whack when shits the fan. So that's my suggestion to you, is that you just need to, you know, because I hear people really sort of, hey baby boy, look who's here. I hear people talking about how you know, these white boats in America, the ships have been brought in to, you know, take child, so all that stuff. And what are they putting that in them out there for, but to kind of create a horror show for people to fixate upon? So, you know, it is horror. If these things are real, of course it's horror. You know, who would argue for, who would support it if they knew, you know? But this isn't how we're going to change it. We're not going to go in and change one department. You know, you need to.
Let's go in the van.
You want to go in the van?
Okay.
All right. Well, be well. Stay in the sun. Gaze. Barefoot. Anything else, guys, before I say goodbye?
No, take care.
Yeah, just take care and try and relax.
Yeah. Cheers from Ian. Andrea.
Yeah.
That's love.
And me. Yeah, lots of love, friends. Be well. This is your time. So, be not in any fear. Have no fear.
No fear.
No fear.
No fear.
Have no fear. Be in love as much as you can. Be at ease as much as you can. What will be in your resonance, your vibration, your heart is the thing that matters most here. Don't let them pull it
Stands your ground.
from the center, from the balanced place
Hold
that it
the
should be.
line. Hold the line.
Be well.